Hi guys, welcome back to my craft desk. Just a little quick one. I'm going to pop on and show you how I stitch my signatures. So signatures and junk journaling is all really new to me. I've made one. This is my second attempt. And what we're going to do is a 3-stitch pamphlet stitch. That's what it's technically called. I've only recently found out what signatures means. So signatures just means the pages you want to be your journal. Let me just find the middle and I will show you what it means. So a signature can be anything. As you can see here, I've got a mix of embossed cardstock, paper, magazine pages, all sorts. And when they go together, they will form a booklet. So they're sort of the pages of your book is the signature. And what I'm going to do is make 3 holes and sew them together in a thing called a pamphlet stitch to make them all together to go into my next junk journal. So the first thing you're going to do is get all of your papers, fold them in half and layer them up in the order you want to make your signature. So that's pretty straightforward. Then you're going to make sure that the pages are all in the position you want. So whether the shorter ones are at the top or the bottom, wherever it is you want them, they're all in the right place. Then what we're going to do is make our holes. So what I'm going to do just to make this a little bit easier for me and keep all my pages in one place. You don't have to use this. You can use a hair clip, you can use anything, but I'm just going to use a bulldog clip just to give me that little bit more stability and know that my pages are all together. Obviously this middle one is too small and you may find, depending on the shape and size of your pages, that they won't all go into it, but it will just know that they're in the right position and they're not going to shift while I'm doing this. So I bought this little kit off of the Big A and it's literally, I think I typed in book binding beginner set, and it comes with this, which is an awl. An awl is a posh word for a hole making tool. It came with a number of needles and it came with 3 sets of twine, like bookbinding cotton. So when I first did it, I didn't have any of those tools. I literally had a thick needle and some waxed cotton. So if you don't have the tools, it's not the end of the world. You can try it, and I succeeded with just a fat needle to make my holes and to do my stitching with, but hopefully this tool will make it a lot easier. So you're doing this with me. I think this maybe goes on your finger to protect it, I don't know. But what we're going to do is roughly figure out, if you're a measurer, I'm not, you find at the middle of your journal pages, you want to go in the middle of the fold and you want to pierce all the way through. So just push, 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 push all the way through. I mean, I've got a lot of pages, so all I'm doing is push, 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 giving it a little twist to go all the way through. I can feel it coming through. I can feel it going through all those pages. But a lot of these pages in my signature are card as well as paper. But there you go, you can see it just coming out there. And once it's through, I'm going to give it a little bit of a wiggle just to make a nice little hole. There we go, so that's hole number 1. And then I'm going to pull it out. Whee! Then I'm going to do hole number 2, which is going to be at the bottom. Exactly the same thing. I'm going to guess about a third down. And I'm going to do exactly the same through. You want to try and get your hole right in that crease of your signatures. And that one went through a lot better, a lot easier. Push it through, give it a little bit of wiggle. And then the third one is again towards the top of your signature, about equal distance, but it doesn't matter too much. And then we're going to just push it all through. Push, 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 and there it is. Bit of brute force, trying to keep it on the fold as much as possible to keep it as straight as possible. And pull them out. So now what you have are 3 holes going through all your layers of paper. Next thing you're going to need is a needle. So these are all different types and all different sizes, but what I think I would do is either use that one there, which is what they call a carpet needle, Or what I might do is go back with my old trusty needle that I know works. They're not too dissimilar in size. I'm going to use the wax cotton that came with it, and it's definitely a wax cotton. You can feel that it's a wax cotton. But you can use anything this, as long as it's strong enough to withhold the tying of the pages. So you can use jewellery making cord. I've seen people do it with ribbons, thin ribbons. But this is what we're going to go for. I'm going to measure out what I need. So approximately top to bottom 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to chop that off and then just thread my needle. Wax cotton also goes through the needle really quick, really easily, she says. And then I'm just going to pull myself a little bit to play with. So the way that I'm doing this journal and these signatures is that I'd like to tie the pages at the end. You do a big knot, and I'd like the knot of the pages to be on the outside of the journal, not on the inside. If you wanted them on the inside and make a feature of them, you go from this side. If you want them on the outside, you go from the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick this up, cradle this over, try not to move it, and I'm going to go straight in that middle hole. So when people say they're sewing their signatures, this is as complicated as it gets. So do bear with me. I need to look what I'm doing. And all you're doing is pushing your needle through that hole, through all the pages you've made. What you might find, which I'm finding now, is that they're getting stuck a little bit, and that means, there you go, I can see it coming through. That just means that when you pierced it through, it wasn't 100% straight. But with a little bit of wiggle and a bit of persuasion, you'll see that needle will come through. And all I'm going to do is pull it through. Pull. Obviously not all the way through. I'm going to leave a little bit on the other side, and I'll just pull it through as I need it. And then what I'm going to do is go from the middle to the top, through the top hole. Again, a little bit of persuasion, a little bit of wiggle, but you'll feel it. You can feel it going through. And then I'm going to pull that so it is tight. So what you'll find now is that that first stitch is in. I'm then going to go through that top hole back to the middle. And what you're doing is you're pulling it so it's tight. Not super tight, but tight enough that you can feel that those pages are going to be held by the stitches. You sort of can feel how tight you need to pull it. And then from the middle to the bottom, through that bottom hole. There we go. Oh, make sure I don't catch all my stitches, my pages in the stitch. So let's just wiggle them through. There you go. Pull it nice and tight. And then flip it back over. And what you're going to have, this is really hard to show you because it's black on black, is this is the start of the cotton and this is the end of the cotton. And all we're going to do is tie them in a knot. So nice, straightforward, basic knot. Okay, I think, I'm just double checking that I don't have to go through anything again. No, double knot as close to that middle as possible. Like I say, I'm still relatively new to this. And then I'm going to just double knot that again. I'm going to take the needle out. Pull it nice and tight. Tie another knot. And make sure that's nice and secure. So, as you can see now, all my pages, when I remove this, are all now nice and secure together in that signature. Once I'm happy that they're all secure, I'm just going to cut off the additional bits here. In the journal I'm making, you won't see this because it will be in the spine. And then what I like to do, just so that I know that they're all in one place and they're all together, is tape down the string. It's not necessary, and I apologise about the focus on this because we are working close up. It's not necessary, but I do it just to ensure that it's all in one place. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of double-sided tape. And I then know that for any reason that comes undone, those double knots come undone. It's not going to. But if I do, I know that it is then, excuse the tape noise, nice and secure. So with the journal I'm doing, again, you won't see these pages. So the tape will be hidden. So I'm not too worried about it being perfect. But if you were going to have it where these signatures would be seen, you just be a bit more discreet with the tape. Maybe use some washi tape or something that coordinates with the patterns. And that's it. That's as simple as what sewing a signature in is. So it's not really sewing. It's through the middle. What was it? Through the middle, up to the top, through the middle, down the bottom, tie a knot. 4 passes. And that is how you sew a basic signature. Like I say, I'm new to it, but that's how I sew my pamphlet stitches, and so far so good. Thank you for watching. Bye.